Hello, potato. Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato. Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello,
potato.
Potato? How about fries, mashed? Doesn't care.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato. Today we are in downtown Sacramento at the safe, at least in name, Credit Union Convention Center for SacAnime Summer 2025. Yes, the world is a chaotic mess, but we can still, for now, take a couple days break from it and immerse ourselves in some geek culture. Now, as always, there are changes. There's always changes between one SacAnime and another. Probably the largest one this time, and I don't know how well you can really see it on the camera here, but basically the whole lobby area of the Sheraton is gone. It's closed. They're remodeling it, which is fine. It's been looking a little sad for a number of years now. It does need a refresh, but that means the registration was not in there. It was actually, if you look straight down, it was over there. I don't know how you can see it in the camera, but that red awning, that is the Grand Ballroom, and that is where we went and picked up our wristbands, which we already did that yesterday. So that means presumably no SacAnime menu and no SacAnime cocktails this time around. And some other changes. Well, weirdly, they are holding some of the panels over in the Hyatt, which I think is on the other corner here, kind of over by the Catholic Church, like a block down. We used to go over there for Starbucks before they closed that Starbucks up. But they're doing some of the panels in there, which is weird because there's plenty of space in the Credit Union Convention Center. So I'm wondering if maybe we're sharing space with another event this time. They're also using the Memorial Auditorium again. We went to some of those in the past. We'll go to some of those again. In fact, the only panel I want to go to today is the Chainsaw Man panel, and that's over there at 4 o'clock, so we're going to head over that way. But for now, we are going to go head out into the convention itself, see what the changes there are. I know another thing that's I've been discussion of, doesn't really affect me personally, is there's some issues with cosplay, particularly like military cosplay. I guess they're going to be a little more strict on cosplay firearms and weapons than they have in the past. I think this has to do with the fact that we have an actual militarized force in our country right now that looks an awful lot like Call of Duty cosplayers. So I'm wondering how that will affect them. I saw discussion about it, but I never saw what the ultimate resolution of that was. So be interested to see if we have as many Call of Duty players as we normally do roaming around the convention. But yeah, it's convention's open for about, I think, an hour and a half at this point. Yeah, about an hour and a half since it first opened here on day one. And so we're gonna head on down there and go wristbands up and check out the 2025 SacAnime Summer. It's supposed to be a warm one today, like in the 90s. I think it's supposed to hit the hundreds this weekend. So hopefully, obviously, if you're watching this, the convention's already over. But hopefully the cosplayers all took precautions to stay well hydrated. So yeah, let's go wristbands up and check out the convention. So here we can get a better view of the fact that the Sheraton Grand is all closed up. I believe the hotel portion is still open. There's an entrance down there that does appear to be open, people going in and out of. But yeah, the lobby area is completely shut right now. And I noticed we have the Drewski's trucks back over on this side. They used to be over here when this was like the front of the convention center. So I'm wondering what's going on that they're not down there where they normally are. Maybe, well, hopefully the car show is back, so maybe it's to do with not wanting people having food around the cars? Who knows? So it looks like we have some sponsorship by Red Bull for the convention this time. There was a couple of girls outside giving out free cans of it, but they seem to have an actual little section with that playable Tetris game you can get at Costco. Maybe go check that out later, but for now, we want to go start out in the vendors hall. We've got a couple hours until it's time for the Chainsaw Man panel. So go check out the vendors hall, which does not appear to be divided this time. They've gone back to kind of the classic setup, or they've changed it somehow, because we don't have the games area anymore. But presumably, maybe it's in the Hyatt. I don't know. I haven't looked at the maps, but we'll look around now, see what there is to see. I guess we'll start over here at the end and see what new vendors there are. Do have to poke our heads into the Capital Books stand, see if there's anything interesting over here. One of these days we need to actually go to the shop. It's within walking distance from here. Now they have the Xanathar's treasure bags. I do want to pick one of those up at some point during the show. Yeah, one sense we have to get over and actually check out the shop. It's only like it's walking distance from here. We just never done it yet. Looks like this time they've not brought a ton of manga with them, focusing more on collectibles and games. But I know they carry more in the shop. We just need to get over there and check out the shop one of these times. They have a selection of tarot decks, including a Choose Your Own Adventure tarot deck, which is kind of interesting sounding. I mean, I'm not quite sure how Choose Your Own Adventure works with tarot. I mean, I guess you are sort of choosing your future with tarot, but it's 25. Artwork looks interesting. Something to think about. But I definitely have to get Xanathar's. No, it is Xanathar. I was right the first time. Xanathar's treasure, but I'm gonna go look over for Kobold's Keep. That's where we usually buy our dice blind bags. So we'll check there first. So I was just informed that vlogging at SacAnime is no longer allowed. We can't record our experience here at the convention anymore. So that is going to make this a much shorter video than normal. But that's certainly a big change. We can still get video of cosplayers, so there will be some more of that. But yeah, you may have noticed this video is a lot shorter than in past years, and that's why. We apparently cannot vlog our experience at SacAnime any longer. So that's a good start for the weekend. Good start for the video. But yeah, so I guess just enjoy cosplayers and shots out on the street from here on out. We're outside now, which means technically not inside the convention, so should not be an issue to record out here. We're heading over there to the Memorial Auditorium to check out the Chainsaw Man panel. And yeah, seen some more good cosplayers. Did a stamp rally, which we'll go over the stuff from that in the haul portion of the video. But yeah, for now, let's head over to Memorial Auditorium and check out a panel, which of course I can't record in anyways, but you know, just a little update of where things are going in our trip here to SacAnime Summer 2025. We're just coming out of the Chainsaw Man panel. It was quite good. And one thing I did forget to mention before, so we didn't get to see it in video, but there were some changes to the vendor hall. They've moved all the autographs entirely out of the vendor hall and made that area like all Artist Alley now. So there's room for more vendors than there used to be in there. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that. It's nice to have more stuff in there though. But I think we're gonna just we didn't really finish looking at the vendors hall, so we're gonna go and finish that up. Maybe hopefully see some more good cosplays, and then call it an end for day one. So here we are at the end of our, well, abbreviated video of the first day. The rest of the video I'm sure is going to be equally abbreviated. But we'll try to catch some more cosplayers tomorrow and Sunday. So I'm really not sure 100% why they moved the food trucks. I guess because of the Red Bull tent, maybe, I don't know. But the car show's not here this year either. So I guess I just cleared that space out for Red Bull. For reference, some of the panels are in the Hyatt Ballroom. It's actually right there, right across the street from the convention center. It's just not as far away as I thought it was going to be. I really wish in the panel room in Memorial Auditorium they were showing these, like, they have weird videos now playing on the screen in between panels. Like, some of it's just clips from other old panels, but then like these weird little AI voiced stock video warnings about taking videos and pictures in the panel. So they're like, they're real serious with that, I guess, about shooting video in the convention at all. But still, we'll try to get more cosplayers and stuff, and at least get that part of it documented for the enjoyment of all, including myself down the road. But yeah, we're gonna head out for today. Tomorrow's a couple panels I do want to see. Maybe look around a little bit more at the vendor hall and maybe approach it all with, a more renewed attitude. We really didn't look around upstairs too much. I know the gaming area is up now, at least the board gaming area is. I'm not sure if the video games are in the Memorial Auditorium or not. We didn't look around too much. But yeah, the weather wasn't too bad today. I think it's a little hotter tomorrow. And saw some great cosplayers. And generally enjoyed the convention. I wish I could have shared it with you, but if people recording inside the convention really was ruining the experience for other people, then I understand not allowing it. Although we did see other people doing their own walking around recording unmolested, but it is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna head out, and I will see you back here momentarily for day 2. Hello, Potato. We are back here at SacAnime Summer 2025. It is day 2, and even though it is not even 10 in the morning, it already feels quite a bit warmer than it did yesterday when we got here about like 4 hours later. And today, of course, is the big day of the show. As you can see already down there, there are lots of people wandering about. I also can see that El Fuego has their meat cooking, and it smells quite delicious. Yeah, this would be the people going to pick up their wristbands, because again, the Sheraton itself, the lobby area, the whole first floor is basically closed. Although I did find out, apparently the SacAnime menu is still a thing. Maybe it's being handled in a different part of the area. It looked like from the picture I saw, you had to order it on your phone now. They've gotten rid of all the little kind of jokey, like anime themed or video game themed names. It's just like a cheeseburger, I think chicken strips, and an al pastor burrito. And one of the things that I really liked about the SacAnime menu was that it was a really good value for what you were getting, and that's kind of gone away. They've gone from it being, I think, like $10 the first year to being like 15 or so now. And for 15, I feel like I could probably go to El Fuego there and get probably a better burrito, or at least an equally good burrito. So I did look at the rules for SacAnime, because of course we found out yesterday that you can't record in the vendor area anymore. And yes, at some point they did add that to the list of prohibited areas. Now it's on the same line with Artist Alley, which of course I wasn't shooting in Artist Alley anyways, because that's just basic respect for the artists. Most of them have no photos on their booths. And yeah, it certainly changes what a SacAnime video is. It's going to make it a lot shorter. But looks like we can still film in the common areas. We could theoretically still film in panels, not guest of honor ones. But there really aren't many of those this year that I'm interested in. But yeah, it's definitely going to make this more of a cosplayer-focused video than it has been in the past. There'll still be a haul portion at the end. But it does change what a SacAnime video can be. And honestly, I mean, the vendor hall is like 85% of this convention, and when it comes like to the spring convention, it's probably more like 90 or 95%. So I definitely have to reevaluate whether or not I want to still do SacAnime Springs. But summer, winter, we'll keep doing. So yeah, the convention's getting ready to open. Should open in just a few more minutes, and there is a panel I want to see at 10:30. So I guess we will head on down there and head on into the show. Probably just wait until they let people in and then just go in after the main line goes down. But we'll figure it out. So yeah, let's go find some cosplayers to look at.
Season.
5 more minutes until entry.
Rather than follow the line all the way back, we just cut around the front of the building to where, well, probably about the middle of the line is. We still have a ways to go though. It goes down this alley. I think last time it went around the road there, but this time we go down the creepy alley instead.
Wait, no, you can't say that because then people wander in the desert. Hey, we got plenty of sunburns in that desert. Thank you. You are brave.
One interesting thing about being way back in the line at opening on day 2 is that if you're far enough back, you may actually have a shorter line because they're going to put you in through this side of the vendor's hall. Although we're not going to do the vendor's hall, we're going to go upstairs because I need to find panel room 1. And of course, more cosplayers.
Whatever I got last time.
Also back here is where they've hidden Maui Wow and Dippin' Dots. You know, the ice cream of the future. So we're gonna head upstairs to the ballrooms and meeting rooms and find panel room number 1. I couldn't pass this up. We were heading towards our panel, which is actually, I believe, by this group here. But I saw they have a full-on Dalek. I don't think I've ever seen a full-on Dalek here at SacAnime before. It's got the little plunger hand, and it looks like, much like the ones from the show, a person could sit in there and pedal around. I mean, I love all the Star Wars droids, but a Dalek is really awesome. So we're here in the droid building panel. They have said it's okay to record this, so there will be some footage from this panel in our video here. It looks like we have kind of different versions of the panel. We have a partially built droid, an Artoo unit, and then a fully built one, and then of course we have convention favorite Chopper. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the panel to start.
All right. Yay!
Yay!
This one is here.
Sorry. Steve, that was a horrible call.
Thank you.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. We haven't tested it yet. Have you guys tested it, Chris?
No.
No.
Alright everybody guys, welcome to droid building, I guess 101. Any questions you gotta have, we'll hopefully be able to answer them. We are D Squad, a little bit mixture of Astromech, and we are the local droid builders for the Northern California area.
Oh, I was going to ask where you get the files, but you answered.
Yeah, for the Astromech droids, that's primarily Mr. Badley. Their droid division does other droids, all the bipedal ones, like the pit droids or the battle droids and things of that nature. He does a lot of those. So they kind of like have a gentleman's agreement that they won't kind of cross-pollinate some of their stuff.
Okay.
On the nationwide group, like you guys have heard of the 501st and the Endor base, we have our worldwide website is astromech.net. So that's a good place to start with our worldwide group.
Any questions?
Why is it pink? What does the pink droid stand for?
Pink droid is QTKT. There's a big story behind it because one builder had a daughter that had cancer, and he built her a pink R2 to watch over her while she was in the hospital. That gained notoriety, and they put her in episode 7 of Star Wars. You actually see her in the back when Finn and Poe meet. They get a little hug.
You see the droid.
You see the droid in the background, and then Lucas liked it, so they actually made a cartoon version for Clone Wars, and that's the cartoon version.
Yeah, the daughter's name was Katie, and she was actually terminal cancer.
This is QTKT. The one that you'll see that's the live action paint scheme is R2KT.
Yeah.
And you're not going to go this alone. There's a community. This is a small portion of it. SacAnime is actually a really big group. D Squad, we're kind of like hand in hand. Bay Area droid builders, and then I said it's worldwide. I mean, we're everywhere. So if you got questions,
We're not cockroaches.
Do you guys have your own Facebook group and stuff
Oh,
like
we
that?
have a Facebook group. It's D Squad. If you go to Facebook and Instagram, it's ARTOOSC or D Squad. Either way, you can find us on there.
And then we are SacAnime. You'll find us on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Yep.
SacAnime is more the heavy duty builds where you've got wood frames, metal skins, the expensive parts.
They're the old guys. We're the new young ones.
You've been around longer than some of us. I don't want to hear it.
We do lots of events together,
Yeah.
so you'll see
Yeah.
that there's a lot of collaboration between the
If you're at
groups.
GalaxyCon Bay Area Builders, Zach Ashermech, and you guys were up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah.
So,
If you run into a problem during your build, ask one of us, because most likely we ran into the same problem and had to figure out a workaround for it too.
It's accessible. Chopper probably took me probably about 10, 15K in filament. If you guys
Not thousand, not
thousand,
thousand.
not K in thousands, but as in weight. It's pretty easy to build. You can start. Yeah, everything. Yeah, sorry. For filament, that's weight.
So with a 3D printer, the rolls come in 1,000K weight rolls.
Yeah, that's how they're
So
measured.
it's the weight of the roll that goes on the printer. R2 typically around 30 rolls is what you're going to need of 1,000K rolls.
This guy right here, some of your parts, you may not build an Artoo. You might want to build a scrubber droid or a mouse droid. The prep on those is a little bit different. You have to sand the plastic down so the paint will adhere. This one I didn't sand well enough, so all the black you see is where I ran into a wall and the paint just flecked off.
Battle damage.
Battle damage.
That's
yeah.
actually a storage tote.
Yeah, this is one of those Rubbermaid, very expensive storage totes.
And that's the actual build. That's how you're supposed to build
Yeah,
that
how you're
droid.
supposed to build it. I modified it with like my own personal stuff on it. IKEA cutting board. All right, all the servo electronics you're gonna need. Yeah.
It is. It's a cutting board.
And that's and the electronic system is a $99 Mecanum system off of Amazon. And it is that easy just to put something together. If you can operate an RC car, that's an RC system.
I have a few RC cars at that house.
You're halfway to a mouse droid.
Okay, that's.
This is a Traxxas Bandit RC car. Alright, and all I did was cut the bottom out of a vacuum form mouse frame, 3D printed the greeblies on it, is what you call the little decorations. You can buy them. You can buy the circuit boards, you can buy all this stuff, probably cost you about $300 to get all of the circuit boards, all these pieces, or you can just 3D print it for about $1. I modified mine with the light ring around it. Usually it's just a piece of wood on the inside to divide the two shells. But
And if you're looking at getting a 3D printer, you don't have one yet, you can do these on a printer as cheap as $50, Creality Ender 3. I built one on an Ender 3. But if you have the budget, I would recommend getting a Bamboo Labs, at least an A1. They run about $400. Just because the headaches you're not going to have with a Bamboo printer versus a Creality or one of the other printers. It just has a lot less failures. So the money you spend on the printer up front, you're not going to waste it on failed prints or having to do all the adjustments on some of the less expensive printers.
So we are out of time. We have run over. If you have any more questions, we would love to talk about building droids, as you can see. So you will come on down to our booth, right down here on the hall. And thanks for showing up.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you to the Bay Area bounty hunters for coming out and supporting.
Yes.
Do you want me to share it to the page?
Three, two, one. Say D Squad.
D Squad.
Say Sac.
Yeah, that's me.
So the Daleks are on the move here at SacAnime. this is the booth for the people that just put on the panel we watched. And yeah, so you can learn to build your own droid. So astromech.net is apparently the place to start. I would not mind building a Rex. If I was going to build something, it probably would be Rex. Love Captain Rex, love DJ Rex. That would probably be the one I'd want to build, even though he is not mobile. It wouldn't be the true SacAnime experience if one of the escalators wasn't broken. Every time, without fail. So I had thought the Steve Bloom panel was at 4 o'clock for some reason, and I'm glad I went and double checked because it's actually at noon, about 45 minutes. So we're gonna go look around with it, maybe find some cosplayers, hopefully, and then head over to Memorial Auditorium to watch Spike and Faye talk about, well, presumably Cowboy Bebop and other things they have been in.
Yes, it's a skexy.
On a car, gonna go down there.
All right.
Time to head on over to the Memorial Auditorium for the Steve Bloom, Wendy Lee panel. And as we can see over here, the hot dog carts have spawned over here too. Wherever you are at SacAnime, you're never more than a few feet away from a hot dog cart. On our way out now from the Cowboy Bebop panel. Always cool to see Steve Bloom and Wendy Lee. They've made it out here a few times before. I think this is the first time they've made it out in... I think they were here in 2020. They were in the January one when it was at Cal Expo. The voice of SacAnime mentioned that. But I think it's the first time here since then. Although I don't think it's Steve Bloom was here with his wife, but that may actually have been 2020. But so now it's a good time to go and find something to eat. It is stiflingly warm out here. Of course, this may be actually a bad time to find something to eat since a panel just let out, and a lot of people are probably going to try to find something to eat as well, but we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, I think that's it.
You know, there's sometimes when the hot dog vendors just make me think of the seagulls from Finding Nemo.
I can't get that out of my head. Oh god.
And like I always say, I don't like rice. I don't like bread.
So the recharge, we've gone over to Panisi's. It was still open. Looks like they're probably getting fairly close to closing. They are very low on bread. But I did still have a couple pieces of lasagna left, so I got me some of their lasagna. I love their lasagna. It's just very basic meat, cheese, sauce, pasta. It does appear to have been sitting there for a little bit, but I'm sure it's still going to be good. When it does. Yeah, just basic lasagna. And you picked up a ham and Swiss. And then we got ourselves a big giant cookie for dessert. After we do that, we'll head back into the show. I've seen all the panels I want to see today. So it's kind of just wandering around, looking for good cosplayers, like those ones across the way there, from here on out for today.
Wristbands. Thank you.
Well, it is certainly busier than yesterday in here. This is what SacAnime normally looks like, which means it should be able to find some good cosplayers.
I got a picture too.
Even though it's still fairly early, I think we're gonna call it a day. There aren't any more panels I want to go check out, and we've seen a lot of great cosplayers, but there's just nothing else much to do other than hang around and just check out cosplayers. So I think we are going to head out. We've gone through the vendor hall a couple times. I think we've made pretty much all the purchases we're gonna make for this convention. And of course, at the end of the video, we will have the haul portion, which, who knows, may actually be longer than the rest of the video itself this time. But it's still one more day to go. Back tomorrow, there's at least one panel I do want to see tomorrow. That sounds interesting. I don't know if we'll be able to show any of that or not, but it looks like it should be an interesting panel based on the description. So we'll find out tomorrow if we can actually show any of it to you if you weren't here. But it's been a pretty good day. I did notice also, yeah, there were some people recording. Indeed, one person even streaming, it looked like, in the vendor hall. I guess the person who came after me yesterday just isn't here or doesn't care about them. I don't know. But yeah, it's not a rule that seems to be enforced exactly evenly, but it is what it is. Still, that aside, good time was had, and there's still one more day of it, so we will be back here momentarily for day number 3, and hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler. It's hardly the hottest it's been all summer, but it's uncomfortably warm. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be cooler. See you in a second. Hello, Potato. Welcome to day 3 of SacAnime Summer 2025. We're here one more time, one more intro for one more segment of the video. Well, I guess there's 2 more segments of the video. There'll be the haul segment after this segment, but one more segment here. It's not quite 11 o'clock in the morning yet, and it's already well into the 90s. It's going to be a hot one today, or when you're watching this, it will have been a hot one today. You can see down here, people are all on the streets. This is, of course, the quieter day. This is a day when a lot of people have to return back to the real world, so they've already left. Everybody's kind of worn out, long weekend. People who went to concerts and raves and stayed up late last night are recovering from it. And there's not a ton that I'm looking to do today. There is one panel at noon. There is, of course, we have to get our tickets for next time. But other than that, I guess just try to get a few more awesome cosplays. Now, I do have to say that Hydra Stomper I saw yesterday, this should be his, I think it was his Instagram tag, should be shown on that segment. Hopefully, if I didn't remember to do it when I'm editing this part, it'll remind me to go back and do it. But that was really super impressive. We also had that big Hydra Stomper costume at the Odin Makes booth. I don't think it's the same costume, because it didn't look like the one that Odin Makes was necessarily wearable, but they were both awesome. Love the Hydra Stomper. But yeah, that is probably going to have been my favorite cosplay, but I certainly haven't recorded any bad ones. It's Sunday, we do have to look for Jesus. Jesus is always out and about on Sunday. We'll have to look for him. So yeah, let's go wristbands up one more time for summer 2025 and head in to the convention. So it's certainly less busy in here than it was yesterday, but it's still early in the day. The last day, people are probably still sleeping off their Saturday nights. And of course, again, it's just not generally as busy a day. Not quite as Friday, but nowhere near as busy as Saturday. But yeah, we need to get our passes for next time, and then we need to head on up to the panel I want to check out. And we're entering the vendor area, so camera off. So we've got our passes for the next show, and this is interesting. They're not specifically for the next show. They are for any show in 2025 or 20. Not to be fair, this was the last show for 2025. But so this could theoretically be used for either winter or summer. So I guess like if I were to get COVID again at the winter show, I could just hang on to this and use it for the summer show instead. The other change is they've gone up in price again. Not that long, just a couple years ago, they were $25 for the whole weekend. Then they went up to $35, and now they are $40 for the weekend. So I guess that means also then that the later pre-reg tickets online and then buying tickets at the door will go up even more. But yeah, it's while what I can record goes down, the prices have gone up. But we've got a little time to kill before the panel I want to go to, so I guess we're going to wander around, maybe find some more cosplays. We found that awesome Mary Poppins couple. Hopefully we will find a number more awesome cosplays today. I said in the intro I wasn't sure if the Hydra Stomper I saw yesterday in video was the same one that was up here, but I do think JokersWildCosplay is the same person. So yeah, that costume's actually wearable. And of course we've seen Godzilla walk around too, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that it's a wearable costume.
Welcome to the Shadow Mirror. My name is Anh Ta. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist. All these other initials that don't matter. But it's pronounced Ang, like Ang the Last Airbender. Pronoun is Ang, and Ang. You can call me Ang, right? But just as a disclaimer, I may be a licensed therapist. I am not your therapist unless, of course, when my clients show up. In this case, if they show up, I'm gonna act like I don't know you, just for confidentiality reasons. So shadow self, really, in the plainest terms possible, is the part of us that hurts, the part of us we repress, the shadow, right? And doing that work is uncovering that. Some of the things I've worked on, published, Lollipop Luck, as Poo-Poo, and I have these children's books which are translated, and Conversation with a Sardonic Therapist, which was from the grief work, and some of the work you're gonna see today it's gonna touch upon the hero's journey, right? We're gonna explore a lot of the characters and why they resonate with us and wrap it up with the hero's journey, which parallels stages of change. If anyone here knows mental health or recovery work, stages of change is the trans-theoretical model by Prochaska and Di Clemente. It's the one model that transcends all modalities of therapy. Has anyone here watched Thunderbolts? Oh my gosh. From a mental health perspective, my favorite Marvel of all time. It was just so on point with covering what vulnerability looks like and safety looks like in different domains of your life. And in stories, you have, what motivates them. I call them the seeds. There's fame, fortune, family, fervor, which is passion, favor, which is skill, and felicity, which is peace. That's on individuals. Who here likes long stories? Long, slow ones like One Piece. Slow burn. Right? I've had people ask, what episodes should I skip? I'm like, well, it depends. If you want character development, you gotta all of them. You go through all of them because it gives you a little bit about each character, right? But if you're looking for just action-packed and like if you're Kenshin, just stick to the movies. Byronic, my favorite hero. Anyone here know what the Byronic hero is? Okay, I'm gonna name a couple. Yu Yu Hakusho, Ryu, Sebastian. They are much like the anti-hero. The anti-hero is everyone that, the anti-hero, you're looking at Saitama, Light Yagami, Zoro, Savika. They're kind of like the hero, but they stand for everybody else in their own way. The Byronic hero stands for themselves, right? They just so happen to be a hero, but for their own means. And they look like they're nice people, and they're just like Sebastian. Without ruining it, Sebastian's really in it for Sebastian. Ryuk. Ryuk's in it because Ryuk's bored. Right? And what's apples? That's it. Spirit of the Fireflies, that's my test for people. When people watch that, it'll tell me whether or not I like you. If you're human or not. You like it for the right reasons, versus someone's like, I don't know what that movie's about. I was like, excuse me? Right? You look absolutely normal right now. You're a sociopath. I'm gonna leave you with that. It's the 3 things for your shadow work. Do these character stories affirm you, move you away from something, or move you towards something? Right? Thank you all for being here. Just in the interest of time, I'll just make sure this. Right? And sometimes the change is they become a good one.
So we just got out of the Shadow Mirror, a therapist's exploration of anime/comic characters that reflect our well-being by Anh Ta. That was a really good panel. That's exactly the sort of panel I want to see when I come here. So it's you know, I like seeing the voice actors, but it's really nice to see more stuff created by the fans. I think it's a little weird that people who create that content have to pay their way, but it was a really good fun. I definitely encourage you to check out his books and other works. And yeah, maybe a little heavier content than we normally get here, but I like that. I like a well thought out, well created panel. And I think it's actually the only panel I was particularly interested in for today. So what else is coming up? There's a lot of stuff about things that I don't watch, like Genshin Impact, Kaiju number 8. I mean, there's a Chainsaw Man panel again, but we already saw one on Friday. This one has 2 more cast members supposed to be at it, so it might be worth checking out. But otherwise, yeah, there really aren't any other things to check out today. So we may just gonna try to find some more cosplayers, maybe get something to eat, I don't know. But may about wrap up summer 2025 for us. One thing I will say is while we were in the Shadow Self panel, I got a lot busier here. I guess people have slept off their Saturday nights, or maybe there was just a big panel everybody was in. But yeah, definitely is busier walking out of that panel room than it was walking in. Thank you. Making our way out through the Red Bull zone. Oh, it's not just the Tetris from Costco, it's Red Bulltress. You can go see what the queue looks like over at the upper crust. We haven't had our all-you-can-eat pizza yet. Just got to make it past the ambush of hot dogs, and we'll go see if the line there at the pizza place is manageable today. We were actually going to go there yesterday, but the line was like to the door. There weren't any obviously open seats, and Panisi's was still open. So, do like some Panisi's. Apparently, this is the scenic route to baseball, and there are photo ops. I mean, there are photo ops there. I cannot debate that. It'd be cool to go see Jaws in the theater, especially in IMAX. Never seen it in theater because I'm not quite that old. Only ever seen it on TV. Well, it looks like the line is much more manageable today, so I think we're going to have us some pizza. All right, so we've made our normal trip to the upper crust pizza for $15. You get all-you-can-eat pizza and salad. I think they also have like super. Yeah, they have chicken soup, and I think there's some pasta at the other end there. And then a soda is not included as part of it, but still less than $20 for all-you-can-eat food is certainly one of the best, value for money options here at SacAnime. Not the cheapest option, but value for money. It's kind of hard to beat it. So yeah, I'm gonna recharge up. Got some veg, got some carbs, got a little grease and protein there, and then we'll head back out and finish our visit to SacAnime Summer 2025. So for reference, up here is where they have moved the autographs this year, give them lots of space for all the guests. And this is also then why they have moved the other panels, the other guest of honor panels, over to the Hyatt, because this is where they normally would have those panels. Thank you. You look
like
great.
Dum-dums?
They're
Like
good.
a lollipop?
Yeah, they're good.
You want one?
Sure.
Yeah? Look at this cutie. Lollipop for you.
Thank you.
Lollipop for you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Is there any information you'd like to share with people?
Do what you please, but try to help out and give a helping hand out when you can. Amen. That's all.
Alright, hey guys, I'm Dexter Stardust. We have a new game here. You want to have a good time? Grab a couple tacos, nachos, a large horchata, and play some Dexter Stardust on Switch, let's see, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Steam, and all the other platforms. It's spacey, man. Have a good time.
Alright, give me a measurement. How close are you?
So here we are again at the end of another SacAnime Summer 2025 in the books. This show actually got a couple hours still to go to it, but we're gonna head out. And it was a pretty good day. We saw lots of great cosplayers. Loved that Mary Poppins one, like one of the first ones we saw this morning. Saw just lots of the Lollipop Chainsaw, Juliet from Lollipop Chainsaw. That's a pretty good deep cut. I love when we catch these kind of obscure characters that are, you know, maybe didn't get the fame they should have got. Really enjoyed the Shadow Self panel. Anh Ta's panel was just really fantastic. I'm not sure how much of it I'll end up using or will have ended up using in the video, because it was some fairly heavy stuff, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I wish they would have more panel rooms like that to allow for more panels. He said that he had put in for 4 different panels, and I guess that's the only one that got approved. And I feel like, we had like 3 different Jeopardy panels, but we couldn't find room for a second one of his. And I know 5th Gen Pokemon has said the same thing before. They put in for a number of panels and only 1 or 2 actually get approved. And I feel like there's plenty of space in the convention center. We could have maybe a panel room 3 and a panel room 4. I don't know what the logistics are, the monetary issues behind it are, but I mean it's free content for the convention being produced by the paying customers, and frankly it's some of the best stuff that SacAnime has to offer. I like the voice actor panels, but I really like the panels created by people like 5th Gen Pokemon, by Anh Ta, by, in the past, WYSIWYG Visions and Stop Anime. Those are always like some of my favorite panels, my favorite things to see here. But we bought a lot of stuff, maybe less, I don't know, maybe, I was saying maybe less stuff than usual, but I think ultimately, piece-wise, probably about the same. But we focused a lot this time on artists and local artisans. So we're gonna head back to the Void Space now to check out the hall. Oh, one thing before I forget, interesting cosplay phenomena that I've seen. First of all, a lot less Call of Duty now. I don't know if that's exactly because of the extra restrictions on weapons and the issues with real life intruding on what should be fun escapism, or if it's something else, just maybe it's just too hot to wear all that armor. I don't know. But also weird, I saw 3 different people dressed as Lord Farquaad. Not quite sure why 20 years on that's becoming a thing. No, 25 years on, huh? Is it like an anniversary thing maybe? But yeah, I felt like 3 different people dressed as Lord Farquaad. Saw, I think, a total of 4 or 5 Lorax. And again, I'm not sure why. We have the 2 that should be in the first part of the video here. But yeah, there were more that I didn't record. And also like 2 or 3 Sally faces. And again, I kind of would have thought that game's old enough now that most people would have forgotten about it. But maybe it's like the Lollipop Chainsaw. There's just some hardcore fans out there. But it sounds like my voice is not wanting to cooperate anymore. So I guess we will head back to the Void Space now and check out the SacAnime Summer 2025 haul. And wristbands down. We're back now in the Void Space, in the quiet, in the peace, in the safety, and in the air conditioning, because goodness, it was hot it's not the hottest SacAnime ever, but it was hot this weekend. Or I guess last weekend if you're watching this when the video first comes out. So yeah, it probably ended up being a shorter video, huh? Don't worry. If you've made it this far, the haul video will definitely make this a nice long video, I'm sure. And yeah, the changes to allowing recording, not allowing in the vendor area without, unless if you have permission of the stall owner, you can record their stall, which is fine. Also, you can't record the dance stage environment. I'm assuming this means the Sac live stage, which is why there was no music in this video either. And that's fine. I wish they had done a better job of notifying people of these changes rather than just have someone come up to you in the vendor hall and threaten to call security on you, which I feel like the unspoken threat there is have you expelled from the convention 1 hour into it, as opposed to just saying, oh yeah, we've had a rule change. Nope, just straight to delete it from calling security. Okay, I've never deleted footage on this camera before, so it took a few minutes to figure out how to do it, because I just record what I record and then I edit it at the end, and anything I don't use just kind of sits there on a storage drive until presumably the drive stops working. So they did start the convention off rather poorly for me, and it does change what these videos are going to have to be going forward. And of course, we still bought our tickets for the next show, although interestingly, I think I put it out in the video, they're not specifically for the next show. They're for any show in 25 or 26. Now, it's weird to say any show in 25 because there may be a SacCon. I don't know if it's good for SacCon, but this was the last show for 25. And I am reasonably sure, I'd have to go back and watch the video from winter, but I'm reasonably sure the tickets we got in winter were specifically for summer 2025. And I think, it's probably cheaper to just print up a bunch of tickets that are good for any show during the year. I'm assuming this also means they'd be good for spring. So I don't think it's a bad idea. And I especially like it because the only SacAnime I've missed in like 20 years, not counting the ones that didn't happen because of COVID, was the first winter show back at the convention center. It was as we were coming out of COVID. I think it was the first proper SacAnime. We had the SacAnime swap meets. There are videos on those that were done at the grounds. But it was the first one back at the convention center, having just been remodeled and having been just opened up, not after, but during COVID. COVID had basically peaked and we were kind of readjusting the world to deal with it. And I couldn't go because that was the week I finally got COVID. So that was, I mean, even though my tickets were specifically for that, well, I actually think the tickets were specifically for summer of 2020, they still said you could hang on to them and use them for the next show if you were sick, because con cred is already enough of a thing. We didn't at that point need COVID there. So that's the only one I've missed in a long time. And yeah, I still plan to go to the winter show, and we'll just adjust what we record. It'll just be more, hopefully, panels like the droid building panel and the shadow mirror panel, which was really, really good. And just, yeah, there won't be the live music and there won't be a lot of vendor hall stuff, but we'll get, we'll focus more on cosplayers. I mean, we can do it, but it does make me reconsider going to spring, because I would say that SacAnime winter and summer are about like 85% vendor hall. I mean, that really is the focus of the show, is to go there and buy things. And, there are still those good panels, things like 5th Gen Not Pokemon, or going back, WYSIWYG Visions or Stop Anime used to do really, really good panels, and I hope like Hope does more. I would love to see more panels by the droid building groups. Was it Astromech and was it Artoo SC? I think it was. I mean, they're in the video earlier. I would love to see more panels by them, but they don't do that at the spring show. There's at least one room they could do like fan panels in. It's the garden room. I think it's either the garden room or the flower room. But I think it's called the garden room. Then the first year they did Roseville Anime, they did panels in that room. I remember seeing Jeremy Lee in there. Also, that room has really good air conditioning, because it used to be the room where they displayed the flower arranging at the county fair. But like this year at the spring show, I usually can't go on Sundays. I think next year maybe we will be able to. But even if I could have, I don't know that I would have this year. There wasn't a lot to do. We only stayed at the spring for a couple hours on Saturday, then we went and had lunch and just did other things. So yeah, spring I may skip. But summer and winter are definitely going to keep going to, until I get banned or something. But that's not what this is about. This is about the hall portion. It was still otherwise, it was a good show. Had a cloud over it. Sadly, not a cloud that like obscured the heat at all, but a cloud over it. But I still enjoyed myself. I still had a good time. I hope that I still managed to communicate the fun of the show in the video. So for those who couldn't go, or those who are watching years down the road, you still got, some of the flavor of the experience, but it is what it is. It's their playground, it's their rules. I don't have to like them, but if I want to play on their playground, I do have to follow them. I really just wish they had been brought to my attention in a more civil manner. But that's enough of that. That's enough whining. Enough whining. You didn't come here to listen to me whine, or maybe you did come here to listen to me whine. But if you did, that part's over now, because now is the haul. So actually, I think I'm probably going to switch the camera down to here. We didn't buy any big stuff this time. No Funko Pops, no action figures, no plush, and pretty much all art. I think I've only got one thing here that is like a brand name thing, and that's one of our blind bags. There is blind bags. We didn't do a big blind bag, so no statues or anything. I decided to not spend $40 on a bag of disappointment. I have another thing. The week this video's coming out, I have another event I want to do, and I need to have money for it. So I did cut back a little bit, or intended to cut back a little bit on what we bought at SacAnime, but we still got a fair amount of stuff. Again, like I think it's almost all from artists, and even the one thing that is name brand is from just from a store that I always buy from. So yeah, I don't know that I have anything to show in this view. So let's go down there and look at all the things. All right, here we are down in the flatter view, and I'm going to start with the largest item, which is ironically the last thing we bought on day 3, and that is this tamper-proof evidence bag. We're going to have to tamper with it to open it up and see it, but we've left it sealed to now. What this is is, and you can kind of see it there, but it's the book Paw by Carrie Lucina. It's about Sarah, the well-adjusted serial killer. There is Ms. Lucina there. And I always respect people who try to sell books at these things, because my artistic expression outside of this, if you can call this art, which I wouldn't, is writing. And I've always thought, been a little jealous going past all the Artist Alley people, like how easy it is to show off your skill as an artist when you are a visual artist. You just make the picture once and you stick it up on your booth and everybody walking by can see, oh, look, you're a good artist. You've done art with Minions and Kermit and the Prince of the Cosmos or whatever your thing is. And for writers, you can't really do that. I mean, you can put up cover art, but that's probably not made by you as a writer. That's made by your artist. Somebody else you've either a friend or you've compensated to make the art for you. And so, it just seems very hard to sell the written word, to get the attention people of the written word at a convention. And we went past her booth probably a dozen times over the course of the weekend before finally, stopping there and checking it out. So as she explained it, the character of Sarah is just kind of living her normal life until she discovers that her friends have been acting against her for a long time and determines the best way to deal with this is to become a serial killer. Which she says it's a dark comedy, so I'm down for some dark comedy. I like a dark comedy. So yeah, she's on the book for $15. There's apparently a sequel coming out soon, which she had a sign for. She had like a poster for the sequel. Maybe it's referenced in here. But I bought for $20. I bought the weekend evidence bag. The idea being that this is something you can settle down to read this book over the weekend and have a good time. So the bag is sealed, so I will need to tear it open to look in it. It says, so how do we open this? It shows how to seal it. I don't know how to open it. Oh, good. It says my name will appear if it's tampered with. Well, let's just pull on it and see what happens. Yeah, I don't. The instructions on this side, how to open it? Is there a flap? Oh, wait, I think we have a flap. All right, here we go. I think this is how we open it. All right. Look, it says my name when I pull it open. That's cool. All right, so in our evidence bag, we got the book wrapped in blood-spattered paper. We'll have to open that up in a second. Got ourselves a bag of popcorn to eat while reading it. Cup of tea. We have, so she described that in the book, Sarah makes a couple little animal friends. Hoof, and then we have the little piggy friend too. She had little 3D printed keychains of the two animals, and the one we picked up came with Hoof. It's very light. It's 3D printed keychain. I probably wouldn't put this on keys. It is extremely light. I would be afraid of it getting broken. But it's a cute little rendering of the character Hoof. We got a bookmark. Oh yeah, Hoof. So Hoof has a sequel. This is the one that she had to sign up that was coming out. I don't know if she said when. Maybe by the winter show though. I will try to read this by the winter show. I'm almost finished with the book I'm working on, so I'll try to read this in the book by the show, and maybe pick up her sequel if she's there again. We have a superficial serial killer button featuring Hoof. She also had one that was like a red decal, or red badge. I don't know if it had the other character on, presumably Paw, or not. And also she threw in like a little mini brands version of the sequel. That will actually go well on my wife's. Is this like just a reskin? No, it's just okay. It's just a blank book, but still, it actually is like the perfect scale for the mini brands books. So this may have to go into my wife's mini brands collection as like an unofficial. I didn't even know this was in there. That's actually really cute. So let's check out the book. Maybe can I open this without? No, she wrapped this really well. I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to preserve it. It's not like I'm going to reuse the paper for anything. Yeah, she sold some that were open and some that were sealed, and some that, like the one I picked up, are in evidence bags. I probably should have bought an open version and asked her to sign it, now that I think on it. But if she's there in the winter, maybe I'll bring this back. Or maybe she already signed it. I mean, that would make sense. That's what I would do. It's I suppose, very presumptuous of one to sign their book ahead of time, but I mean, people are buying it, right? You can always hope that perhaps this will someday be a big hit. Yeah, Sarah, the well-adjusted serial killer. This irreverent, thrilling, dark comedy will have you laughing out loud and hoping for mercy, for murder, and probably for a frisbee. But Sarah doesn't know that as she stands in front of the Bee's house, thinking of all the ways her best friend manipulated and abused her through the years, so many friends did the exact same thing to her. Not anymore. Being a serial killer isn't for everyone. It's a lot of hard work. You have to select victims, find ways to kill them, wipe up your prints, and worst of all, you have to dispose of the bodies. But it's fine. She has a list. She has a Prius, and she has a bit of rope left over from the last time she moved. She's got this. Because we all have a bee. So yeah, this looks interesting. And nope, it is not signed. That's kind of a shame, but like I said, I'm not gonna try to read this before the winter show, and maybe, and if she's there, bring it back and ask if she can sign it. But I mean, it's not very often we've bought like books at SacAnime, so I've bought like comics before, but I don't think I've ever bought an actual book. And again, it's always good to support local artists. So that's the biggest thing. Let's move on to smaller things, or rather the next biggest thing, which is really a bunch of things. And it started with, of course, Kimchi Kawaii. Always go to Kimchi Kawaii. It's like one of my first stops at the convention. As soon as we find her, we go to her booth. And she was again taking part in a stamp rally. So I figured, why not? It's a K-pop Demon Hunter stamp. There were at least 2 different K-pop Demon Hunter stamp rallies running at SacAnime this time. And I have actually watched it. Cute movie. I don't think I'm quite the target audience for it. The kind of like Spider-Man multiverse animation style is one that I don't know that it necessarily it worked for me as Spider-Man because like the comic bookiness of it. This kind of gave it almost more of a claymation kind of a feel to me at times. Well, it was a good movie. But there were 6 artists involved in this particular stamp rally. We had Kawaii Bunnies, Kimchi Kawaii, Artisan, I think this is Nye Draws, Alexandra Brote, and Lee Bobowitz. And that shows where they all were at the convention, which is nice. I want to say the last time I did a stamp rally was the Baldur's Gate 3 one that we did because Cobalt's Keep was part of it. It was not easy. They give us the booth numbers for everyone, but I don't think there was a map. And I want to say the map online was didn't match reality. And maybe that would have been the same issue had they given us a map then, because if the SacAnime's official map was wrong, well then what hope would there have been something that they printed up weeks earlier? Now, like I said, we didn't buy any plush this time. Kimchi Kawaii didn't have any new plush. I think there may be some political things going on that are making it hard for her to get new stock from her manufacturers in China. And yeah, so there was a lot of new art. She had a lot of K-pop Demon Hunter art. She had her new Pasta Cat pictures, but we don't generally buy a lot of her actual art. We buy pins and we buy plush from her more than anything else. But so I did buy a couple pins. There are ones that I didn't already have. So I have from a number of years back, she had a pin of a a partially melted, like off-looking jack-o'-lantern popsicle. You know those. You know the popsicles I'm talking about. Like, you know, the SpongeBob one is pretty famous. Well, she did some Halloween ones a while back, and I had bought the pumpkin one. So this time I bought the other two. We got the black cat and the candy corn. And they're cute, double pin backed. Love Kimchi Kawaii stuff. We have probably have like 60 pins from her at this point. And she threw in, of course, a little thank you card. There is her, oh good, there's a QR code. I always encourage people to go check out her stuff. It's adorable. And yeah, we've been collecting her Priest Apothe line for years. And I actually have, I have a pin that I'm pretty sure is her. It's a Maneki Neko I bought. It's on my original convention bag from like 20 years ago. Which means I would have got it from her probably at like the Red Lion Inn era of SacAnime. And it's something she doesn't do. It's a Maneki Neko. I collect Maneki Nekos. I collect Maneki Nekos. Too many repeating syllables there. And yeah, she had one. I didn't realize, I didn't know who she was at the time. But I realized later on, looking at the pin, that does say Kimchi Kawaii on it. So I'm assuming it's her. I don't know that she would have taken somebody else's like persona down the road. And then an advertisement for her Korean line, the Heite Collective. I think we have a plush of this, and I think we have a plush of him as well. But yeah, she didn't have as many plushes normal either. Again, I think she's just low in stock. But yes, we bought that. That got us started on our stamp rally. And so from the stamp rally, we picked up from Kawaii Bunnies. I got a mystery bunny pop. We'll hold that to the end with the blind bags. But yeah, it's going to be a lollipop charm, presumably shaped like a cute rabbit. Love that shiny packaging. I don't think the camera loves the shiny packaging, but I do. Here's what we could get. Oh yeah, here we go. Could be any one of these adorable little rabbits. So that'll be fun. We'll put that over there. We have some dice blind bags. We'll open at the end. Then from Alexandra brought, we got a cat kiss pin. Now she does a cat kiss plush too, which is very tempting, but I decided to go for the pin. I think we bought a couple things from her in the past, but yeah, the cat kiss pin is adorable. And yeah, literally her and Kawaii Bunnies were all next to Kimchi Kawaii. She was in between them. She said she was in the middle of a kawaii sandwich. And she didn't have a stamp for the stamp rally, so she did a little... She referred to it as a sussy drawing. As you can see over here, Artisan also didn't have a stamp. Yeah, again, dual pin back. Nice little enamel pin. And what is this from? Oh, that's our prize. Then from Artisan, I got a DualShock 2 controller pin. She also had like 8-bit Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube, N64, and PS1. But I thought PS2 is like the first system I had where I was able to actually buy a bunch of games for it. You know, with Super Nintendo, I had like 5 or 6 games, and even for PS1, I only had like 7 or 8 games. N64 only had a few games. But PS2 was the first one that I have probably 60 or 70 games for. So I thought that would be the one to get. And then this one was from, I believe this is from Nidros. This one doesn't have a name on it. Does it? Oh, it does have a name on it. Hold on. Yes, it is Nidros. I was right. And this is a pin of Okarun from Dandadan. She had a whole line of Dandadan pins. She had Momo and Gigi and Granny and Aria? Is that the pink-haired girl's name? I'm a few episodes back on this, and she only appears in like 3 episodes in the first season, so where I am in the second series, she hasn't appeared once yet. Yeah, although I forgot his name. I called him Otakun. How embarrassing. What a stab to your geek cred when you get a name wrong. And ironically, this was the only one that didn't have a label with the name on it. All the others had their names on them, but not Okarun. So yeah, it's Okarun with his turbo mode, and that's kind of how they were. Arya had her, like, what was it, like the hair spirit form, and Gigi had his his spirit form. Momo had like the big glowy hands out behind her. But it was nice. And yeah, I don't have a lot of Don stuff, so I thought that would be a cool one to get. And then finally, from Lee Bobowitz, she had a line of pins. I don't know if they're necessarily meant for writers or meant for people who like fan fiction in general, but as a writer, they appealed to me a little bit. This is the one that, even though I don't generally do this in my stories, the Everyone Dies Funeral Director pin was the one I went with. And yeah. Lee Bobowitz. I'm going to assume that is like a take on Boba and Leibowitz. Yeah, really cute. And then, what else is in here? Oh, at the end of buying it all, you get your little prize pack. We went back to, I believe it was Kawaii Rabbits, to get our prize pack of K-pop Demon Hunters goodies from each artist. And I haven't looked through this yet, so this is, we're seeing this together for the first time. We have a Huntrix bookmark. Oh, they didn't say which one of them contributed though. But yeah, we have a Huntrix bookmark, which is cute. Nice drawings of them. We've got, is that Zoe? I've only watched the movie once. This is from Nye Draws. It does have her name on it there. I believe that was Zoe. Yeah, because she got the daggers. That was Zoe, right? And then this one was from Alexandra Brott. Derpberry Soda featuring the Blue Tiger. Another decal. And I'm thinking the card here might be Kimchi Kawaii. Because again, she had a number of posters and stuff for this. Oh, it's in a sleeve? It's in a sleeve. That's cool. It's in a Sasha Boy sleeve. My Soda Pop. And yeah, this was Kimchi Kawaii. I kind of thought that was her. And then finally, we have, even though SacAnime doesn't do badges you can stick these on, we do have a badge ribbon from Lee Bobowitz for Sasha Boy stands. Yeah, it's cute. Cute assortment of stuff. And again, it's, encourages you to support local artists, which is always a good thing. And again, that's pretty much what we did this time, is a lot of local artists we bought stuff from this time. Let me clear this out of the way a second here. Well, since he has creeped into shot here anyways, let's take a look at this next. It's a decal of Dexter Stardust. I didn't purchase this. It's actually towards the end of day 3. There should be some video of him and a person wearing a Mandalorian helmet in a suit pushing around a wounded robot in a wheelchair. And it's Dexter Stardust. It is a point-and-click adventure game coming out, and the little wounded robot was holding a tablet that showed shots from it, and it looks pretty cute. It looks very much like, while the cool kids were out having parties and playing sports, my youth, I was playing Day of the Tentacle and Space Quest and Sam and Max Hit the Road and Leisure Suit Larry. So the point-and-click adventure is a genre of game that I do hold dear to my heart. So I'm probably going to check this out when it comes out. Dexter Stardust Adventures in Deep Space. So yeah, the art looked interesting on it, and it very much gave me like Space Quest vibes, what was showing on the little screen. And the guy seemed super friendly. So yeah, I'm probably going to check out Dexter Stardust when it comes out. Now let's move on. Let's stick with flat things. Let's stick with arty things. I picked up from Stardust City. I picked up this sheet of, taking out plastic didn't help, it's still in plastic. This sheet of Propane King stickers, the famous show Propane King. And I got my attention. I saw a few different booths selling things with this on it. Now, of course, a couple years back, I did buy a tote bag with "That's my purse, I don't know you" on the side of it, just like that. Different artist. But they had it in black this time, which I wish they had it in black last time. I'm not going to buy a second one, but it looked good in black too. But they had a big decal of this, and they also had a big decal of this. Mother of God, it's all toilet sounds. I do not do a good Hank Hill. But I thought, this looked cute, because they also have Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a god dang hot dog. Bobby saying, God, it's glaring horribly, isn't it? I'm a little worried about being a slut. Yeah, I can't actually do his voice either. To be fair, his voice is done by a woman. A mother of God's all toilet sounds and pocket sand. Oh, and of course, I don't know, maybe this will... I guess it doesn't matter if I get demonetized. I don't get money off this anyways. Hank's flat butt. But yeah, I thought, you know, these are really cute. And you don't see a ton of Propane King merchandise out there. So I wanted to pick that up. Sticking with the arts, the next couple things are really more my wife's things. And this is from, I don't think we have the name of this one. I think it was in like Nijima Draws or Nijima Art. They didn't have a business card. It's an artist alley, so I didn't want to, like, you know, take pictures of their booth. But they had these lovely Ghibli-inspired art here. We have, just if you look closely there, you can see Totoro and the little Totoros walking through the fields. We have this one of Princess Mononoke with, got the little Kodamas. Kendamas, like that thing with the balls. Kodamas. We have Kiki's Delivery Service. Got Kiki and Gigi there. And then we got this one from Spirited Away. They were like, I think, buy two, get two free or something like that, or buy three, get a fourth free. So we picked up 4 different ones. And of course, Spirited Away is like one of the best. They also had, they had a Castle in the Sky. Didn't have a Porco Rosso. I mean, they might have a Porco Rosso, they just didn't have any at the show. But, yeah, some nice art. Again, I wish I had written the name down, but I didn't. And like I said, they didn't have a business card. It doesn't say it on the prints. But something like Nijima Art or something like that. I mean, I suppose if I really were that worried about it, I could go and look on the website, look at the map of the show and find out who they were. But you'll know if I did that or not, if there's like a caption on here with their name. Next is an artist we've bought from before, and that is Lost Street Cat. My wife is actually trying to put together a frame of pictures from them, and she's one short, but she couldn't remember if it was portrait or landscape that she needed, so she just bought someone that she doesn't think she already has. Yeah, the ones we have are mostly of cats, like in coffee shops. But she had some new stuff. Bought, I think there's 3 here, yeah. In the postcard size. Well, they are actually postcards. That will fit into the frames. We have this, a gardening cat. Yeah, this is the one I like the best. The vending machine cat. But I like vending machines. And then cats in a bakery, which I think thematically fits best with the coffee, but just depends on which orientation she needed for the frame. Oh, she did put a card in the envelope. I grabbed a second card. I guess I didn't need to. And she also threw in a sticker of cats in a heart. All right, I think that wraps us up for the artistic art. Now it's on to physical things. All right, there are a couple things there that aren't art per se, that aren't local. They're mass produced, probably from China. We bought a couple more of those little music boxes. We have quite a collection of them now. They're the ones, you know the ones. If you don't know, you'll see it in a second. They're the little laser cut wood boxes with the crank on the side. This one is the, that's got some scuffs on the front of it, but that's okay. Yeah, this is the Jiminy Cricket one, and it plays When You Wish Upon a Star. And then we also picked up, yeah, we didn't open up and look at them, we just looked at the ones they had on display. I probably wouldn't have, should probably wouldn't have picked that one with the scuffs on the top if she had known, but done bun can't be undone, right? And then we got Mary Poppins. Of course, on day 3, we saw that awesome Mary Poppins cosplay couple. They were fantastic. This, of course, would be the more official movie version. And this one plays Chim Chim Cheree. Yep, very nice sounding. They also had, I think it was new. They had one that played the Rugrats theme, which is pretty cool. That's one that seems like it would be well suited to a music box because it kind of sounds like one anyways. All right, we're in the home stretch here. Just a few more things to look at. We made not 1, but 2 stops at Citrus Atelier. Actually, we made 3 stops. We just didn't buy anything the second time. And we actually walked past her booth a couple times, specifically looking for, but she has a lot of new stuff. We're looking for the same old that we always buy at her booth. But she has a bunch of new art and stuff that she didn't have back at the winter show. And we just didn't even realize it was her, because these items, I don't know if she's gonna discontinue them or what, but these are what attracted us to her booth to begin with. And those are her spell vials. These are both for my wife. You certainly can't see it now, but there's like 3 of them on the shelf back there behind the Lego Haunted Mansion. And I have another small one at work because, hey, you need all the help you can get, right? But my wife was looking for a couple different ones. She was looking for health and protection. And we did find protection. Important nowadays. Yeah, it's a vial of protective herbs and crystals sealed with Citrus Atelier's wax seal. And you just put it somewhere and hopefully it does something. So we got that one for home. And I may actually have a protection one in here. I know I have creativity and I think I have a health one. I have 3 of them back there, and I have a 4th one at work. But I have one of these small ones. That's what this is one of the mini spell vials. And yeah, we couldn't find one for health this time. Because I'm not sure if she's like slowing down on these or just a bad time for it. But yeah, there's her card. One I picked up to take to work to just kind of secrete on her desk. I don't know which one. I have one at work on my desk. I don't know which one it is. But a small version of Protect. Again, just, you can use all the protection you can get, right? So those are my wives. The next things are mine. These are from Props Pop. Got a couple different things from them. There is their contact information, and that was their location. Not that knowing they were AA040 is particularly useful now, but yeah, there's their Props and Pop decor. Oh, it's not Props Pop, it's Props and Pop. There's like an ampersand in the ray gun there. And I picked up a couple things from them. This is cast in concrete, and it is a little No Face from Spirited Away. It's well done. I'm not sure, if it's an original sculpt or if they just molded off of something else. But apparently it's pretty popular. When I bought this, there was only 2 left. So I picked up that. And then on day 3, one of the last things we purchased there, we went back there and picked up the Mario Piranha planting, put like a little succulent in there or something. They had like a little red flamey looking succulent in the display one there. Yeah, these are made by them, hand painted. And honestly, as expensive as some things in Artist Alley can be, very reasonably priced. I think No Face there was only like $5. And the Piranha Plant, I think, was $25, which can, you know, for Artist Alley prices, are not bad. This is, I feel like it's probably also cement. But it's cool, probably go open the window, get a little plant in it. And that's it, except for the blind bags. So we do have 3 blind bags to open, nothing huge. We of course have our Kawaii Bunnies one from the K-Pop Demon Hunters Stamp Rally. Naturally, I went to Terran Empire Publishing and bought another one of their bags. This has 5 sets of dice. Could possibly have a metal set. Could possibly have a chunk, a big D20. I'm gonna say probably no on the big D20. I feel like you'd be able to feel that. But could be a metal one in there. And then I bought the new, or the newest that I'm aware of, Dungeons & Dragons dice bag. This one's the Yawning Portal. 1 dice set, 1 ability coin, 1 D&D dice bag, which, honestly, looking for the picture, I think I'm going to like these bags better than the Xanathars. I've done a couple Xanathars. We did them. We had one in the Easter basket. We had one from, I think we've done a couple from SacAnime. And I just didn't love the beholder on the bag. I loved the original, the Cerarax treasure ones that just have the D&D logo on them. Yeah, that's where we're at. This is where we're at. Just a bunny and dice, and we'll be done. The SacAnime winter will be officially over for me. And of course, we can relive it anytime by watching this video again, but it's over for me after these. All right, so who did we get? We got, it's very shiny. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Everything else was shiny. I'm guessing this is, no, I was gonna say it's Dongo, but I don't know. Because I mean, the coloring looks like Dongo to me, but the face is wrong. The ones with the tongue sticking out at an angle, I don't, oh, is this lemon sherbet maybe? Oh no, sorry, sea salt taffy. Strawberry lemonade. No, the eye's still not right for that. I don't know who this is. I can't, unless the faces don't necessarily match the colors. Color-wise, I would guess strawberry lemonade. It's just kind of got that pinkishness to it. Well, I'm not going to say disappointed because I just don't know who I have. This doesn't look like any of the ones on the package. I don't see anybody with a tongue sticking out sideways and both eyes fully open. Is that, no, that one's not sticking out, that's sticking out the center. Well, it's still cute. Maybe there's more than what's shown on here. I don't know. But if you can see these over the glare, if you can tell me who you think that is, strawberry lemonade is like my closest guess, just based on the coloring. But again, the mouth isn't right. So I don't know. It's got big cheeks. It's got big cheeks like Tropical Sunrise, but the eyes aren't right, and neither is the mouth. Eyes aren't right for Candy Galaxy Hole. I mean, the only ones that have eyes like that are Starry Night Hole and Straw Bunny Lemonade. But but the mouth isn't right for either one of those. I don't know who I got. There's not like a little card or anything in there, is there? It says, no. Well, it's still very cute. Again, I'm not gonna like put it on my keys or anything because I think it'll get messed up. Yeah, it does have a little like carabiner style hook here. I don't know, I might find something to clip it to. It might end up in the background here at some point. Cute, probably. I think I made a good choice at Kawaii Bunnies. Next, let's move on to the Terran Empire Publishing. They, of course, do role-playing stuff. And I used to do their black bags, which came with 1 set of dice and a little 3D printed figure, which I do have one of up on the shelf there. But, you know, I collect dice for no obvious reason. And I just can't pass up a chance to get 5 sets of dice. So let's see, what 5 do we get? Oh, there are stickers in here too. I got a D20, got Whack, Experience, Tranquility, Whack. All right, let's see, what 5 sets of dice did we get this time from Terran Empire Publishing? So no metal ones, no metal, no chonk. I've lost out on that part again. We have a purple set. I don't think there are any that are like the ones I got last time though, so that's good. No duplicates. I really do need to get something to store all my dice in. But I don't know what, I mean, there's like a booth there that sells a collapsible like dice bag dish thing that says it sells like holds 100 dice. Which I don't know, might be something I can have to consider. All right, so we've got a purple set, a blue set, a really cool little silver set, nice kind of minty green set, and then a pearlescent set. Which I do think I have a set similar to this. I don't know if it was from them or from somebody else. It might have been one of the D&D ones. But I do have a set that I think looks similar to this. I like the silver ones. The blue ones they're all nice. But I think if I want to pick a favorite here, probably going to go with the silver ones. Maybe one of these years we'll get a metal set. But that year is not this year. And finally, the D&D, the Yawning Portal Treasure Pack. So I think they're like 20 bucks. But they come with, you get a bag. I get kind of a mustard yellow one. I do think I like that logo better. I like the bag. Oh, they've changed this though. I'm knocking things over. This is a different closing mechanism. Let me grab another one and show you the difference. All right, so here is an Acerarax treasure bag. Here is a Xanathar's treasure bag. You can see they have the kind of, I feel like, more traditional string draws on them. But see, I don't like that as much. I do like that. The bag is still well made. It feels, honestly, maybe it feels a little thinner, but it's probably about the same. But yeah, the Dungeons & Dragons branded like shoelace drawstring here. Don't love that so much. I like this, just feels like more classic to me. This might be stronger though. It's definitely thicker than the strings are. Maybe that issue with them breaking, I don't know. So you've got this mustard yellow bag. Doesn't even have the D&D logo on it. Well, I guess because it's on the string, so they don't need to put it on the bag like they did on this one. What dice did we get? We got some kind of magma looking ones and our coin. Ooh, that's good and heavy. Inspiration, Baldur's Gate. Look, that is like really nicely sculpted. That's kind of the thing that really pushes this over the edge for me. Is not only do I get a set of dice, but I get a token. And I love tokens. Look, that's really nicely sculpted. That's all sculpted out there. I don't know if you can see that well on the camera, but it's not flat. It is, that extends out from the base of the coin fairly, I don't know, half a millimeter, maybe a millimeter. There's the D&D logo on the other side. Nice, good. Listen to that. That is chunky. And then, yeah, they don't tell you, there's no card or anything that says which die you got, so I don't know if this is a rare one or not. Definitely not the best dice I've gotten out of one of these packs, but I really like the coin. Coin definitely worth the price of admission here. The dice are nice. I mean, I don't know that I like them any more than any of my Terran Empire ones here. How do they feel a lot rougher. These feel very smooth. These feel, I mean, they're not like sandpaper or anything, but they definitely have less slick of a texture. These are very, very slick to the touch. This is like just a little bit of resistance to it. It's also probably why it's not shiny. It's got kind of a matte feel as well as a matte finish. Definitely nice though. They look like more rubbery. They're not. There's no like give to them or anything, but they look kind of rubbery to me. I think because the numbering is not super sharp. And it could just be my eyes, but the numbering looks like almost like it's wanting to bleed out around the edges of the number, but it's not. It's weird. It's doing weird things to my eyes. And with that, the haul is complete. So yeah, we didn't, only like name brand thing we bought was the D&D dice. Everything else was by local-ish producers. And even this came from Cobalt Keep, which is up in Sparks, Nevada. If I ever make that way to Sparks, I will have to go check their store out. But they're like super nice. They always remember us, even when I'm not dressed as red green. So it's always pretty cool. So at the end of the video, I do want to take the time to thank everyone who allowed me to record their costumes, especially everyone who contributed a Hello Potato to the beginning. I want to thank Anh Ta and the people at Artoo SC and Sacramento Astromech for allowing me to record that panel. Hopefully I found some good highlights to get the flavor of the panel into this video. And yeah, I mean, despite a rocky start, had a good time. I wish there were more of the panels like the ones by Anh Ta and the droid building guys. There was like 3 different Jeopardy panels, but we only had, Anh Ta said that he had put in for 4 panels, and I guess that was the only one that got approved. And I was like, but meanwhile we have like 3 Jeopardy panels. I feel like they really could put another of those small panel rooms somewhere in the convention center to accommodate more. I mean, it's not like the SacAnime pays these people. They don't even get like free entry. So those are the panels that I really enjoy the most. I like the voice actors, but I really enjoy the ones that are put together by the other attendees more than the big voice actor Q&As. But you know, that's personal preference. But I will say that Anh Ta's presentation was full, like people sitting on the floor full. And so, I mean, he could have filled up a bigger space. I was the one that thought that description sounded really interesting. Yep, good time. Looking forward to January. Have to definitely read the rules again before then to see what other changes have been made, because, you know, I want to follow the rules. I just need to be, it needs to be made clear what they are. And if you're going to change them, you can post some signs on the doors to the vendor hall saying effective whenever recording in the vendor hall is no longer allowed. Because on Saturday in particular, I saw multiple people doing the same thing I would normally be doing. And I mean, that's a little frustrating when I see, I'm not going to like go run and tell security, because I don't think that should be against the rules. But it's frustrating when I got threatened with security for doing it, and they're there on the busy day, and it's not an issue for them. And for reference, I did not see any press passes on the people I saw with cameras. They were just doing the same thing I was doing, just recording the show. But I said I wasn't going to complain about it anymore, so I will stop. Otherwise, it was a good time. Look forward to January. More guests, more panels, hopefully more panels. And again, thank you to everybody who appeared in this video. I appreciate it, and I hope that people will be able to enjoy your cosplays in this video for years to come. That sounds grandiose, doesn't it? But that's the point. I want people to like come back years later and experience what SacAnime was like in 2025. So if you made it this far, it probably is still about a 2-hour long video. If you made it this far, I do thank you for watching. I hope you found any of this at all interesting or entertaining. If you know which of these rabbits this is, please let me know in the comments. Or if you're kawaii rabbits, tell me, who did I get? I don't know who I got. It's cute, but I don't know who it is. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.